Saturday, May 31st, 2025. Welcome, everybody, to the Battle Club Guys podcast. I'm your host, the Battle Club Guy. Today, I decided I want to do an episode discussing all the news and rumors and chaoticness around WrestleMania 42, where it was supposed to be, where it might be, where it might not be, all that good stuff. But first off, if this is your first time joining me, I'm going to say thank you for joining me. As I said, this is a Battle Club Guys podcast. I'm your host, the Battle Club Guy. Definitely follow me on Twitter, on X, whatever the hell you call it, at the Battle Club Guy. Check out their Instagram, the Battle Club Guy. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, the Battle Club Guys podcast on YouTube. So let's get into it. Where in the world is WrestleMania 42? Well, back in February, The Rock came out on an episode of Friday Night SmackDown. SmackDown was in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center, Smoothie King Arena in New Orleans. Rock came out. He had this grand entrance with Lil Wayne. It was a remix of the Rock Final Boss theme with Lil Wayne rapping him to the ring. Rock came out. He said that WrestleMania 42 will take place live from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana on April 11th and 12th of 2026. So they announced the dates, they had the graphics. I said, cool. I told my parents, let's go back to New Orleans. We went to New Orleans for WrestleMania 34, had a great time. New Orleans is a great city for to host WrestleMania, Bourbon Street, the Superdome. Superdome's nice. You got the French Quarter, you got all that cool stuff in New Orleans. So I was like, cool, we'll plan to go New Orleans. So I booked a hotel for New Orleans. I always book, when I book hotels, I don't pay in advance because it's a year in advance. So anything can happen, right? As we can see with this situation with WrestleMania 42. So I book the hotel, I do pay at check-in, I do free cancellation, just to cover my ass, you gotta, anything can happen. So on May 22nd, it was confirmed WrestleMania 42 will no longer take place in New Orleans. I believe Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics was the one who first reported that WWE had informed New Orleans that they're pulling WrestleMania 42 from New Orleans and they're moving it elsewhere. The report would also state that WWE had informed New Orleans that they will be hosting WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, which the significance of that is we just were at Las Vegas. As you can see, I have on my WrestleMania 41 jacket, I have my WrestleMania 41 hat on. WrestleMania 41 took place in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. I went there. So WWE informed New Orleans, you're not getting WrestleMania 42. We're taking it to Las Vegas. Triple H would announce last Friday, I believe, on SmackDown. Before SmackDown, last Friday, Triple H went on Twitter and said, he said, I'm sure everyone's seen the shift in our schedule, our joint promotion or announcement. But the funny thing is WWE hasn't formally announced WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. WWE has removed WrestleMania 42 from their events calendar. If you go on WWE.com on the live events section, WrestleMania 42 is missing. So they removed that. The Superdome, I think, removed that. I know NewOrleans.com, NOLAnews.com announced, put out the news that WWE has pulled WrestleMania 42 from New Orleans, but WWE hasn't officially announced it yet, right? But Triple H announced that New Orleans will be getting Money in the Bank in 2026 on August 29th, which is really late in the year. So it seems like next year, 2026, WWE calendars might be a little weird because SummerSlam has been announced for US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I think that's like the first week in August. So Money in the Bank next year is going to be after SummerSlam, so later in the year. Now, when is if okay WWE, we're going back to Las Vegas. When's the dates, right? When will WrestleMania 42 take place? So Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that WWE is closing on a deal that would see WrestleMania 42 take place at Allegiant Stadium for a second year in a row. Um, as far as the dates go, uh, Mike Johnson is saying that the dates are WWE is looking to host WrestleMania 42 on the weekend on April 18th and 19th in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. So that's a week later because originally WrestleMania 42 was supposed to take place on April 11th and 12th at the Superdome in New Orleans. Now, following up on that, Dave Meltzer is reporting that there's a big concert. Some big artists is scheduled to have a concert at Allegiant Stadium the weekend of April 11th. Now, the problem with that is WWE, when they set up WrestleMania, right, it takes I think like a week to set up. You know, it's a big stage. You got to set up the ring, bring in the construction crew. It takes about a week to set that stage up. So apparently, this artist, they have a contract with Allegiant Stadium, and they're telling WWE, we ain't moving. We ain't moving the concert. So that's a problem. The other problem is the report. Dave Meltzer is reporting that there's, I guess, there's an event happening at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Now, the Las Vegas Convention Center, that's where they had WWE World at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. Las Vegas Convention Center is huge. So apparently, there's an event is scheduled to take place the weekend WWE wants to have WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas at the convention center, and they're not moving either. But I don't think that'll be a problem because, like I said, I went to WrestleMania 41. That Las Vegas Convention Center is huge. Now, WWE World, I think they could do it in a smaller venue. Because when I went, like I said, it was cool. They used the big space of the convention center. You know, you could call your own match. They had the Pat McAfee show. They had the area for the photo ops. They had 30 years. I think it was 30 years of Triple H exhibit. That was cool. They had Smash Logan Paul with a chair. They had the main stage where they were doing podcasts and stuff. They had actual ring set up. I think they were doing NXT matches. They had the make your own entrance, and then they had the actual superstore. So I think they could move it. I think there's rumors out there that they can have it at the the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, which is huge. Mandalay Bay is a big hotel. Actually walked through Mandalay Bay to get to WrestleMania 41 at Allegiant Stadium. So I don't think that would be a problem. I know on Wrestling Observer, I can't remember which episode it was, but I know Dave Meltzer had said that he's heard that WWE will most likely be able to still run the weekend of April 18th and 19th next year at Allegiant Stadium. So there's that. Like I said, so WWE's looking to host WrestleMania 42 Saturday, April 18th and Sunday, April 19th, according to Mike Johnson from PW Insider. According to Fightful Select, Las Vegas is currently viewed as a front runner to host WrestleMania 42, and also the WWE is looking to host not only just not just WrestleMania 42 there, but multiple WrestleManias there going forward. Now let's look at this, right? Why would WWE move WrestleMania from New Orleans to Las Vegas, right? Because they signed a contract with New Orleans. A lot of wrestling indie promotions like WrestleCon, they had to book these hotels in advance. They had to pay money. So why would you make an announcement, have The Rock come out there, my guy The Rock, the final boss, have him come out and say, New Orleans, you're getting WrestleMania. 3 months later, nope, you're not getting WrestleMania. To me, it's all about money. WWE is a different company now, right? Maybe this wouldn't have happened under different leadership, but I think this WWE is better under the new leadership. I do. You know, um, from what I see, from what I hear, um, I think it's better leadership. Now, it is a little messy to make this big announcement and then pull it back and say, we're not doing New Orleans. Okay, so it's a little messy. It gets people upset. I understand that. I got upset myself at first because, I wanted to take my parents to New Orleans, do the whole WrestleMania thing. Because New Orleans, that's more of like a family vacation. Vegas, Vegas is fun. I saw people there. Like I said, myself and Henry went. We met up with my boy Rob. We had a great time in Vegas. Saw a lot of my friends there. Um, Now Vegas, I saw a lot of people with the family, but to me, Vegas is more like for the younger, maybe not younger crowd, but not really a family, not really a family vacation destination spot. But like I said, they have the Excalibur Hotel. That's fun. Kids can enjoy that. There's a lot of stuff there that's cool. They have a Netflix restaurant that's cool. Um, but I will say, like I said, I was upset at first, but then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, well, I can go back to Vegas. Vegas is fun. I had a great time. Like I said, me and Henry had a great time in Las Vegas, man. And the good thing about Vegas is they have the monorail. And where Allegiant Stadium is and all your hotels, you can stay. You don't have to stay at a 5-star hotel. You can stay at any hotel on the Strip, and you can walk to Allegiant Stadium. The monorail. We took the monorail from our hotel down to by the Fountain Blue to the WWE hotel. Um, Very nice hotel. And you can take that monorail down that whole strip to get to the convention center. So everything is very accessible in Las Vegas. Walking distance, everything's very walkable. And like I said, it's probably a money thing. TKO, they have a lot of their executives that live in Las Vegas. Nick Khan's from Las Vegas. So the numbers are crazy. So they're saying they made an estimated 1.6 million from WrestleMania 41, making it the most successful, highest grossing event in the WrestleMania in the company. The site fee for WrestleMania 41 was very high. So if you guys don't know what a site fee is, so say you want to, WWE, they want to host, Las Vegas wants to host WrestleMania, New Orleans wants to host WrestleMania, New York City wants to host WrestleMania. They have to pay WWE a site fee. So the site fee for WrestleMania 41 was $5 million, paid by Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. And in addition, $4.2 million in tax credits. And Las Vegas, they let WWE use the convention center and the Fountain Blue Hotel for free, from what I understand. So that's another reason they want to go back to Las Vegas, right? Because if Las Vegas is willing to pay that money, that site fee, that $5 million site fee to WWE, maybe New Orleans didn't want to pay that site fee. Or maybe, they looked at all the numbers and they said, okay, well, we can make $200 million from WrestleMania 42. You might not get that in New Orleans. You might not. Because like I said, Las Vegas, it's expensive. It is. But if you budget it right, you can do it. Me and Henry, we did it we did three days. We did Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, it was 3 days. So we flew in the day of WrestleMania Night 1, flew back Tuesday. But for WrestleMania 42, I'm planning a 5-day trip this time, right? And hopefully WWE makes an announcement soon. I don't know if they're going to make the announcement next weekend at Money in the Bank. Hopefully they make it by SummerSlam, because where I work, I have to put that time off in, 6 months ahead of time. I have to plan this. Now, I do have a hotel booked, but it's free cancellation. I didn't pay anything in advance for 5 days. I booked it for the weekend of April 18th and 19th because that seems to be the weekend. Now, let's say it's not the weekend of April 18th and 19th. Well, Easter next year is the weekend of April 5th, I believe. So do you want to do it on Easter weekend again? Because like Vegas was crowded when we went because it was Easter weekend, but it wasn't that crowded. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania weekend. It really didn't. Because they had so many different conventions going on, and that Las Vegas Strip is huge. So it didn't really feel like WrestleMania until you got to WrestleMania. If that makes sense. Other WrestleManias I've gone to Orlando. I've been to 9 WrestleManias. Orlando, Atlanta, um, New Jersey, uh, New Orleans, Tampa. So Las Vegas. So it didn't feel like WrestleMania. So I don't think they're going to do it the weekend of April 5th. I don't think they're going to do it Easter weekend. The weekend of April 11th, like I said, there's a concert there that doesn't want to move, so they can't do it the weekend of April 11th. So they could do it the end of April. I think what's that? The weekend of April 25th or 27th. That's late though. Do you want to do it that late in April? And then have to move some of your other pay-per-views, which you could, but it seems like they want to do the weekend of April 18th and 19th. So like I said, I have a hotel booked, free cancellation. I'm going to do 5 days this time around instead of the 3 days, because the 3 days, it was tiring, because we flew in straight from the airport to the hotel. Luckily, we were able to check in. Henry was able to get us checked in quick. But then it's like boom, boom, boom. You gotta rush and get to your room. You gotta change. You gotta get food. So yeah, I'm gonna do 5 days this time around. It's really just when is it going to take place. So hopefully they announce it soon. So like I said, they moved from New Orleans. They pulled out of New Orleans. Looks like Las Vegas is the targeted city. Now, if it's not Las Vegas, right? Everyone's saying, what about London? Well, we got an update from that. From Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful Select. He would say that when it comes to London, he said the problem with London is there is a major financial hurdle. Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful, he would say that when it comes to London, AEW pays London and the venue, Wembley Stadium, for All In and Forbidden Door. And WWE is seeking a hefty site fee for WrestleMania to bring the show to London. This stark difference in approach may prove to be a deal breaker as the UK market continues to grow in strategic value but comes with significant costs. So that probably rules out London, right? Because if AEW is bringing... Now, yes, AEW is not WWE. All In is not WrestleMania. You can't compare them. As much as I am a fan of AEW, I am more of a fan of WWE, and WrestleMania is not All In. And I've gone to so many AEW shows. I'm not an AEW hater. I'm not. It's just you can't compare WrestleMania to anything else. You cannot. Sorry. So if London is getting paid to host All In, to host a Forbidden Door, in London they do great numbers anyway. In tourist visits, then why would they pay WWE $5 million to host WrestleMania when they can host, an AEW All In for free? And like I said, I know AEW is not WWE. WWE, you can't compare them. I know. And then people say, what about Saudi Arabia? Well, the problem with Saudi Arabia is they're getting Royal Rumble next year. Okay, so if you wanted to go to the Royal Rumble next year, you got to fly to Saudi Arabia because they're getting the Royal Rumble in 2026. So are they going to host the Royal Rumble in 2026 and then 2-3 months later host WrestleMania? I don't see that happening. And Sean Ross Sapp would release the news regarding that as well. He said the idea appears that Saudi Arabia hosting a WrestleMania event is long term, not right now. One WWE insider suggested to him that if WrestleMania would ever be held in Saudi Arabia, it would likely take place in the form of a special iteration of WrestleMania. Similar to the Greatest Royal Rumble, they would have an event called Super WrestleMania in addition to the regular WrestleMania. So we'll have WrestleMania 42, and then maybe, say WrestleMania 44, and then down the road you have Super WrestleMania from Saudi Arabia. So that rules out London. That rules out Saudi Arabia. So we'll just have to see when and where WrestleMania will take place. WrestleMania 42 will take place. Like I said, it seems like it's going to be in Las Vegas in April of next year. Just depends on the dates in the announcement. I mean, like I said, if you're looking to plan for WrestleMania 42 and you want to book a hotel, for the weekend, April 18th and 19th, but just do free cancellation. Don't pay any money up front. Free cancellation, so you don't have to worry about it, because that's what I did. Because in the end, the only people that know where and when WrestleMania is going to be is WWE. And if we haven't got an official announcement yet, then that means they're still trying to lock in the dates. So I believe that's all the latest news as far as that goes for WrestleMania. I'm just going to look up here, see if there's any latest. Oh, yes. And then the report, there's another report too from Fightful that WWE might be using this WrestleMania moved to get higher bids from different cities to host WrestleMania. But in my opinion, what other city is going to pay $5 million site fee or more to host WrestleMania? I mean, I think Las Vegas is the only city that'll do that, because clearly New Orleans wasn't going to do that. I don't see New York, New Jersey doing that. They're getting SummerSlam in August at MetLife Stadium. Would Atlanta be willing to pay that? If London's not willing to pay that money, I don't see any other city that's willing to pay a $5 million site fee for WrestleMania other than Las Vegas. And yes, I think, and I don't know if I touched on the news that they want to host multiple WrestleManias in Las Vegas. Let me see if I can pull that report up real quick, because that's interesting to me. I know a lot of people seem to be upset online about that. Multiple WrestleManias in Las Vegas. Well, let me see if I can pull up the report here. So let's see here. All right, so let's pull this up. Yes. All right, so multiple WrestleManias. All right, so yeah, so this is from Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer reporting that Las Vegas wants to have a major destination sports event each year, with those events including the Super Bowl, NCAA Men's Final Four, NCAA College Football National Championship. The idea is Las Vegas would host WrestleMania any year that city does not host one of the other events. Furthermore, the sources claim that WWE was thrilled with how much money they made in Las Vegas and they wouldn't bring in the same numbers in New Orleans. Like I said, additionally, key TKO executives live in Las Vegas. Nick Khan grew up in Las Vegas. There's still two things that need to be worked out. Like I said, the concert and the convention center. But the idea is to run WrestleMania 42, Legion Stadium, April 18th and 19th, 2026. So it looks like Las Vegas will be the host for WrestleMania. Like I said, it doesn't look like Saudi Arabia anytime soon. Doesn't look like London anytime soon. I still plan on going. Like I said, I have a hotel booked. And I think it's going to be great. Las Vegas is fun. And my friends that didn't go last year, they're planning to go this year with me. So it's going to be a good time, man. And it sucks for New Orleans that they got the rug pulled from under them, and WWE, we're giving you Money in the Bank. You can't compare that. You can't compare Money in the Bank to a WrestleMania. I'm sure WWE had to pay New Orleans a big amount of money, because that's a contract, right? You're signing a contract. My boy Beast the Goat's in the chat. What's up, Beast? Yeah, my boy Beast. Yes, he will be joining me as well in Las Vegas, if that's where WrestleMania is. Beast the Goat will be joining me as well in Las Vegas for WrestleMania 42. It's going to be a great time. But like I said, yeah, it sucks for New Orleans, because you have The Rock, the final boss, come out and say, you're getting WrestleMania. Well, now you're not getting WrestleMania, you're getting Money in the Bank. Now, like I said, they probably had to give New Orleans a lot of money. Are they going to make Money in the Bank a 2-night event? Is that what's going to happen? They're going to say, hey, New Orleans, we're going to make Money in the Bank really big this year. We're going to do a 2-night Money in the Bank from the Superdome. I don't see that happening. You can't sell out the Superdome for Money in the Bank. So I'm sure it's just going to be at the Smoothie King Arena next year. So that'll be interesting to see. August 29th, Money in the Bank, late in the year. Um, and now the whole thing is like, you got The Rock. Like, now everyone's going to look at The Rock like, man, what are we doing? But you can't blame The Rock because Triple H, TKO, whoever said, hey, go out there and make this announcement. So we can't blame The Rock for that. So I think it's going to be good. Like I said, we just got to wait for official announcement. Hopefully we get an official announcement from WWE on the dates and location for WrestleMania 42. If it is Las Vegas, if it's not Las Vegas, hopefully they announce it soon. I'm hoping by SummerSlam weekend, man. So I know if I'm keeping my hotel, I got to change my hotel, or I'm keeping my hotel in Las Vegas, but I got to change the dates. I need to know, WWE. Make that announcement so we know where WrestleMania 42 is going to be. And speaking of The Rock, I thought it was interesting that Cody Rhodes name dropped The Rock last night on SmackDown during his main event promo. Cody Rhodes said, the final boss, The Rock, he tried getting me to sell my soul to him, and the offer always stands. So are we going to get The Rock wrestling another match? I want The Rock to wrestle another match, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen because he's filming all these movies. So I don't. The only thing I could see WWE doing. Oh, Beast to Go. What did he say here? Let's put it on screen. Beast to Go said they might announce SummerSlam. They might announce WrestleMania at SummerSlam like they did for Philly. Yeah, Beast. That would be cool. They, like I said, they just need to announce it. So people know where they're going, right? Because I've seen people online say they booked a hotel for New Orleans and they couldn't get the money back. Never book a hotel where you got to pay in advance. Always hit that pay at. I use Booking.com. If I don't go through my Hilton Honors, I use Booking.com, and Booking.com they have an option where you can hit pay now or pay at check-in or pay at hotel. Always click that pay at check-in and make sure it's free cancellation, guys. You don't want to get screwed out of thousands of dollars because WWE doesn't know where they're going, because WWE wants to be the Battle Club guy and change their mind. That's my gimmick. Get your own gimmick, WWE. I'm Mr. Indecisive. I'm Mr. Change Hotels 5 times. That's my gimmick. Get your own. But anyway, guys, make sure you book pay at check-in. But yeah, Beast, hopefully they announce it soon. Probably SummerSlam weekend, so I know what I'm doing. And we know what we're doing. But yeah, when Cody Rhodes name dropped The Rock last night, I said, man, what are the odds that we get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42? What are the odds that we get The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42? Because they said they think they can make more money this year than last year. Okay, well, next year than this year. This year we had John Cena's last WrestleMania match ever, and we had John Cena win number 17 against Cody Rhodes. So what's a bigger match you could book for WrestleMania 42 night 2 than John Cena versus Cody Rhodes and John Cena's last WrestleMania match, beating the record, winning number 17. The only match I could think of is a match that was supposed to happen a million times, is The Rock versus Roman Reigns. So we'll have to see what happens when we get there next year. I know The Rock is a busy man. He's doing all these movies. And if it's in Las Vegas, we'll have to see if The Rock's involved somehow. But I found it very interesting that Cody Rhodes name dropped The Rock. So to me, WWE doesn't have wrestlers name drop people or say things for no reason. So are we going to see The Rock show up at Money in the Bank? Are we going to see it is in LA. Are we going to see The Rock show up at Money in the Bank? Maybe. Maybe Rock returns at Money in the Bank. Maybe that sets up a Rock at SummerSlam or sets up Rock at WrestleMania 42. But either way, guys, like I said, it looks like WrestleMania 42 is heading back to Las Vegas the weekend of April 18th and 19th, 2026 from Legion Stadium. And this will be the second year in a row that Las Vegas will be hosting WrestleMania. And it looks like Las Vegas will be the home for WrestleMania or multiple WrestleManias going forward. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see where in the world is WrestleMania 42. and hopefully we'll find out soon. Wanted to say thank you guys for joining me. As always, appreciate all you guys for the love and support. Next Saturday, 1 week from today, we have two shows. We have Worlds Collide at, I think, 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. It's early start time. Worlds Collide on YouTube, and that's going to be a stack show. And then we have Money in the Bank. I'll run down the card for you guys real quick. I will be doing official predictions for Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. I'm thinking I'm going to do those because it's Worlds Collide's early. Money in the Bank, they're both the same day, so I don't want to do them on Saturday morning because that's early. So I'm thinking, when is the last men's qualifier for Money in the Bank? Is that Monday? Is that on Raw? Let me see here. Money in the Bank. Bear with me here while I pull up the Money in the Bank card so I can figure out when I'm doing my predictions for you guys. All right, Money in the Bank. Let's see here. So there's one more spot for the men, so that's tomorrow night. Okay, so the last two qualifying matches are Monday on Raw. So how about this? I'll do my Worlds Collide predictions. I'll do my Worlds Collide predictions and my Money in the Bank predictions this Thursday on my YouTube channel. I'll probably do it around 6 o'clock Thursday. So let's run down the card for Worlds Collide. So WWE Worlds Collide. This is like a super show, right? Because it's AAA and WWE talent. Well, and NXT talent and WWE talent. So it's WWE Worlds Collide. Next Saturday, June the 7th. It looks like it's going to be on YouTube, and it has a start time of 3 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. And matches look pretty cool. We have a 6-man tag. El Gato del Fantasma. It's Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto. They're taking on Dr. Wager Jr. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher these names, guys. I'm sorry. Pongo and Psycho Clown. I've seen Psycho Clown, man. He's great. We have Chad Gable versus Vikingo. Spoiler alert, I think that's going to be for the AAA championship because Vikingo is facing Del Rio, I think, this week. I don't know if it's tonight. Might be tonight. I think Vikingo's winning that AAA title from Del Rio. We have a fatal 4-way for the NXT champion, North American Championship. It's the North American champion, Ethan Page, defending against Jovan Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. We have a women's tag team match. Stephanie Vakir, who is now officially part of the Raw roster, and Lola Vice taking on Cheek Tormenta and Dallas Days. Sorry, guys, I can't pronounce these names. And then we have another 6-man tag. It's the LWO. It's Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wild versus Octagon Jr., Arrow Star, and Mr. Iguan? I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, WWE Worlds Collide next Saturday at 3 p.m. And then we have WWE Money in the Bank. WWE Money in the Bank. John Cena's last Money in the Bank event. We have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. As of now, it's Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and one more man to be determined. That will either be CM Punk, AJ Styles, or because they have a qualifier this Monday on Raw. Let me pull that up for you guys, the qualifying match. Make sure I get this right here. Okay. Men's qualifier. Oh, I have it here. So, yeah, men's qualifier on Monday Night Raw. It's CM Punk, AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano. The winner of that will be the final man in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I think that spot is going to... I think that spot's going to go to CM Punk. As much as I love AJ Styles, I don't see that happening for AJ Styles. El Grande Americano would be interesting because Chad Gable is scheduled for Worlds Collide. And his best friend, El Grande Americano, would be scheduled for Money in the Bank. So I'm going to say either CM Punk or El Grande Americano wins. I would like to see CM Punk win just to get him in there with Seth Rollins to keep building off that feud. And then we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I know the women's. Well, there's one more women's Money in the Bank ladder match qualifier as well, and I believe that is Raw's newest member, Stephanie Vakir, versus. Let's pull this up here. Money in the Bank qualifier. Who do we have here for the women's? For the last spot in the women's. Let's see here. If I can pull. So it's going to be Stephanie Vakir, Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile. I'm picking Stephanie Vakir to win that. They called her up this soon. They got to have big plans for Stephanie Vakir, man. So it's Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and I'm going to say Stephanie Vakir for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. If I have to pick, that's going to be good, man. Like I said, I don't want to get my picks away yet, but yeah, I think Stephanie Vakir will join the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And then we have, they're calling it the last chance match for Becky Lynch, I guess. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for that Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now on Wikipedia it says if Lyra loses, she will be forced to raise Becky Lynch's hand. If Becky Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Lyra is Intercontinental Women's Champion, which is very interesting. And then the main event, it's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and main event Jey Uso versus John Cena, Logan Paul in a tag team match. So that's all your cards for Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. And like I said, I will do double predictions for Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank this Thursday, 6 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And yeah, like I said, guys, this has been my Where in the World is WrestleMania 42 video. I want to thank you guys for joining me. As always, this is the Battle Club Guys podcast. I'm your host, the Battle Club Guy. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at the Battle Club Guy. Check out the Instagram, the Battle Club Guy. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The Battle Club Guys YouTube, the Battle Club Guys podcast on YouTube. Well, WrestleMania 42 supposed to be New Orleans. Looks like they're heading back to Las Vegas. Now we just got to wait on official announcement. Where in the world is WrestleMania 42? Looks like it's going to be what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. The WrestleMania story. Well, guys, it's been great. As always, this is the Battle Club Guys podcast. I'm your host, the Battle Club Guy. Till next time.